What's up, everyone? We are live, and Colorado is doing what they do best. That's finding Travis Hunter. What's up, Houdini? How we doing?
Terrible. Just awful. I mean,
Staying up till 2 o'clock in the morning to what they call here. Yep. So defensive pass interference. Travis Hunter catches it anyways. He's close to 200 yards. We'll get through the stats in a little bit, but
it's pretty good.
I think this is the best team in the Big 12. I'll save it for the show, but their offense is pretty nice.
Jesus Christ! I mean, yeah, I love it. They're just still throwing. They're like everything would say. You just run the ball. They're slinging it all over the field.
31-23 Colorado.
We're still in it.
3:17 to go. We do have 3 timeouts to the Bearcats. So, yeah, they're still in it, technically speaking, but they got to get a stop here, and they haven't gotten a stop all game. There was just a clear momentum shifter in this one into the first half. Going to have PTSD.
Yeah, we'll get into that, Chuck, but I'm just flat out disgusted by
2:50 in the game. Shedeur Sanders takes the snap.
I mean, just make a tackle.
And,
Jesus Christ! I mean, what is this? Is that Jerome Bettis?
That was about 14 on the ground there. Carries him for a first down, and now at this point, I think Colorado's a first down away from victory formation. This is pathetic. The defense, Tyson Veit and company.
I mean, it's like, dude, Bartlett, like you get 2 arms around him, and he goes for another 12. 2-minute warning in college. Okay, they introduced that rule. So at this point, they're in field goal range, right? So what a disaster! No shit, it's probably over.
And Chatterbox Sports tweets out, if you're still up, Chatterbox Bearcats is live now. Yeah, if you're ready for another funeral. I don't even have the bagpipes for this show. The rose-colored glasses aren't coming on tonight, man. This is the last you'll be seeing of me in these. For one of these games, man, I would love to just see like Colorado try a kick with 35 seconds to go to ice it, and the Bearcats block it and somehow take it to the house. We're going nuts live on the air. But then we'd have to go for 2 because they did it again. They did it again. They went for 2. I guess we haven't really done it this year. We saw Pitt do it against us. Didn't backfire for them.
How about this AT&T commercial though, Chuck, where they're like making a joke about like people's parents having sex, but they're talking about the new iPhone 16. That's honestly the biggest story here. I'm not even worried about what happened in this game because
I'm watching Reggie
who
Bush
cares about that
right now. Yeah. Good commercials.
Oh, no. Yeah, now we're at the Reggie Bush. The Heisman commercials are always good. So I'll take this.
Should be able to place.
I love it. They're like, are you guys?
Next? Yeah. We have the meats, Arby's next. Cheese it. Damn it.
No, I had a live on Cheez-Its. That's big actually for me.
Plus 210?
Yeah. Plus 220.
I'm feeling cheesy. Dude, they've been playing this commercial for like 6 years. They're like, if it's not broken, don't fix it. People love it. But it's the same coach getting the Cheez-Its hyped up. They've literally been playing that since before the pandemic.
Well, I mean, I think Flo from Progressive has made like damn near $250 million over the last 10 years. So they just kind of stay. They're like, if it works, it works. Obviously, Jared from Subway ended up in a disaster, but other than that, I think things have worked out for these commercial people.
What do you think, Houdini? Am I a hack guy?
No. Nope. No, you look good, Chuck. Don't worry. Don't worry about that.
I hope we get some Colorado fans in the section tonight because I got a bone to pick with y'all. Bone to pick.
No, we're going to get shit on. The amount of Colorado fans that I didn't know existed that decided to show up into that damn midweek pregame show it's insanity. So I can only assume it's what? 11:30 out there. They're going to be still up and moving.
Oh, they're going to see.
They'll be coming in here hot. I guarantee it.
They're going to toss us a bunch of these. Oh, hold on.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah, dude. Red Rocks is sick. Yeah, dude. Red Rocks is great. Great place to watch a concert. Get over yourselves.
Red Rocks I'm done with it. In Boulder, bud. Come on.
What?
State culture.
What? It's in Denver.
It's not even in Denver. It's a different suburb in the area. Great area though. I mean, Colorado, great
dude?
Great state.
You're gonna tell me Red Rocks isn't affiliated with Denver? That's all it is. Boulder. I got to Google this right now. No, Chuck just told me I was a liar.
A couple of years ago, we went to I went to a Dead and Company concert. I don't even like Dead and Company. I got talked into flying like 4 states away for a 1-day trip to go to Dead and Company, and everyone there was just they were. And I'll tell you what, they did. John Mayer did have me on some strings, man. I didn't know any of the songs really except Touch of Grey, and I was by the end of the night, I thought I knew all the words to those songs. But yeah, the only time I've ever been to the state of Colorado.
It's a good state. It's a good time, but I'm not having that much fun watching.
When you pass through like Kansas and you start off that drive, because I did the drive from Lexington to California when I did the move with the U-Haul. And the first like 3 hours of the state is just it's essentially Kansas, and then you hit Denver and it's like, oh yeah. You go through like a bridge and it's like, oh yeah, this is Colorado, baby. Coach Prime, man, what a weird fit for Colorado, but it works, man. It works.
Chuck, I'm just now realizing that I'm even more pissed. I took UC +7, and we went for 2 there. So, I mean, just kill me now. I mean, what are we doing? Are you serious? All right, we needed that.
That's big.
He just got that. That's critical.
So Colorado gets tripped up. It's going to be like 3rd and 6. There's a minute 50 to go. We use our, I think, second timeout. Yeah, second timeout. So since he has one more timeout, they could stop him and technically force Colorado into probably like a 46-yarder, something like that, with a minute 48 to go. So not over yet. But I feel like other teams don't miss the kicks, right? Except for Arizona State. And for those of you wondering, that guy that was all over social media trying out for Arizona State's walk-on kicker spot, he's been popping up in my algorithm. He did not make the team, but he's not given up yet. Not given up yet. It's a modern day. Who's the guy from, who's the Eagles guy? Mark Wahlberg. Invincible. Come on, you got to know his name.
I thought you were talking about like Happy Gilmore going out for the hockey team. At some point, no, that guy's popped up on my algorithm too.
Vince Papali.
He didn't make the cut?
No.
Papali or Papali?
Yeah. Vince Papali may have been like an OU guy that we went to school with. I don't know.
All right, we got a 3rd and 9, folks. We got a 3rd and 9. Literally, I mean, this obviously this is the game.
Yep. All right, Sanders, shotgun, takes the snap, play action, surveying, has all
day.
He's going for the end zone, and I don't see any laundry on the field.
All right.
4th and 9. It's going to come down to a kick. It's going to come down to a kick. Remember what I just said.
If they miss this, we're in it. If they miss this, we are. I mean, I'm $1:45 on the clock. I love our chances.
I don't even have any beer, dude. I went with the Ghost to keep myself up. I have Champagne upstairs, and I have some bourbon.
Who is this dude? Alejandro Mata?
He's pretty good. He's a good kicker.
Is this Thad Mata's son?
47 yards out. Thad's son.
He drilled it.
High snap.
God.
And with a minute 39 to go, it's Colorado 34, Cincinnati 23. And things do not look good. There'd be probably 5 minutes on the clock if Scott Satterfield had decided to throw the ball in the 4th quarter. I mean, it's pretty incredible that he had 9 runs in 1 pass and milked like 7 minutes off the clock for 3 points.
Did you just see that replay, dude? That was a 6 inches over the goalpost.
I thought
only
he made it by a mile.
No, I thought he had 20 yards on it. They just showed the replay. It was, I mean, probably like 10. I mean, no more than a foot.
We don't get nice things, man. As a fan base, it's pretty consistent that this thing.
How does that dude have the power to kick that? He's like 5'6".
It's all in the hips, man. Got a big old ass.
Yeah, no, you're right. It's the caboose.
Size of a watermelon.
Yeah, they didn't show his cheeks,
I'll
but
tell you what, dude,
I can only imagine.
This is literally like a pro Colorado broadcast. They're doing like Warren Sapp. I mean, which is sick. I mean, that they got Warren Sapp on the staff, but they're doing, all access passes and mic'd up. And meanwhile, I haven't seen a word from Satterfield. It's got to be even coverage.
Chuck, for the sake of the last minute 39, we're just hoping for me to cover. Okay, that's all we're doing. Because I got +7. Did I take them? Did I take them money line as well? Sure, but I wanted to do a little bit of insurance policy. So at this point, we're playing for a +7 Houdini cover.
Okay, I can get behind that. Only way to pull off a miracle is for Houdini to cover. Let's put it that way. All right, Sorsby. Shotgun takes the snap, looking. Pressure's been there all night. Finds Corey Kiner, who is up to the 50.
It's another targeting, dude. They're annihilating my guys.
All right, so now, do we try a Nathan Hawks 50-yarder?
That's actually, from a strategy standpoint, yes, probably. Just have Nathan Hawks go out and kick a 74-yarder at this point. Like, what?
Oh, it's on us. Never mind. It was not targeting. It was a block in the back. It's first down. It's coming all the way back. And 53. Is that Gavin? Oh.
Either way, bring Nathan Hawks out right now.
We believe. All right. Minute 25 on the clock. Sorsby taking a sweet old time. Takes the snap.
What the fuck are we doing, dude?
Pressure is there. Dumps it off to Kiner. Picks up 5 yards. And UC's just going to run out of time. It's as simple as that.
No, but that's Chuck. I mean, that's what you want there. You want a nice 4-yard pass. Set yourself up. Live to see another day. That's what you want. Down 2 possessions with a minute left. You want to make sure you get that 3-yard pass to get the confidence built, obviously. That's just a good strategy, man. And I got no qualms about it.
Well, here's the deal.
I'm pretty excited about the play calling. I really am.
Here's the deal, Houdini. With the +7 that you have, strategy says that unless you get like a 60-yard prior TD, which I wouldn't rule out completely, unless you get that, they're going to kick the field goal. It's going to be an 8-point loss. So I got news for you, buddy. The back door is not even the back door is slammed shut. You're going to have to take it down with a sledgehammer. It's a back door with bars. It's a back door with steel. It's essentially like
you got to get past the first down marker. Chuck, yes. Like, how many ways do we have to say this? Yes, I'm going to lose my bet. I'm very well aware. Okay, but I'm trying to hope. I'm just trying to watch this game and have any semblance of hope for something positive to come from. Because,
I mean, they're throwing 10-yard passes. Royer drops it, and it's 4th and 1.
No, but like we sat back in the huddle and we're like, hey, dude, let's dice up a 3-yard out route for Royer. We're down 11 with a minute 15. Why that? Why is he even running that route? I don't understand. Unless Saterfield has +8.
If that's on us. Oh, Sorsby's pissed. This is the debacle.
No, somebody get Chuck.
Too.
What's the penalty count? I actually got to pull that up. Like, what's the penalty count on? Like, it seems like it has been insanely.
Chat, why don't you help us out with the prep? Let's give us all the stats. And we found out that UC lost in a secret scrimmage today against Pittsburgh. So just Final Four's off. 53 seconds to go. 4th and 6. This is it for Cincinnati. Sorsby looking.
That's it.
And he throws it away. That'll do it. So Colorado could take a knee. And considering it is now 1:45 in the morning Eastern time, we may as well just start the show. Final score. Buffaloes 34. This is breaking. Game not even over yet. Chatterbox Bearcats is declaring it. Waving the white flag. Final score, Buffalo's 34, Bearcats 23. May as well do ourselves a show. I should probably plug in the stream deck that I like to use.
Doesn't even matter.
Who cares? At the end of the day, who cares? Chatterbox Bearcats, everyone. Let's talk about this game. Subscribe wherever you get your audio podcasts, and go ahead and like the stream if you're hanging out with us at nearly 2 o'clock in the morning.
They only allow 40,000 into tiny Nippert Stadium.
They say nothing good in life comes easy.
You had to buy football tickets to get basketball tickets. And basketball is the hot ticket because Bob Huggins had the Bearcats rolling.
Program that was rumored to be disbanding about 15, 20 years ago after some huge losses.
They say the longer you have to wait for something, the more you'll appreciate it when that someday comes.
Caught! Touchdown, Urban Benz!
We thought the moment had arrived.
They are in the playoff.
Only to find out the moment's been too big.
Hey, go to hell.
At the end of the day, it's a business.
Present day, nobody believes in this team.
Scott Satterfield, no answers at the moment.
But with this program, the best things have come when you least expect it.
Number one, let's go!
And the Bearcats are up 16-0 in South Bend.
They're disciplined now. That loudspeaker came on and said leave the field. I mean, they turned it around now and got off the field.
Welcome to the only live Bearcats postgame show on YouTube. This is Chatterbox Bearcats.
That's tough. Cincinnati falls on the road 34-23 to the Colorado Buffaloes in what felt like a Big 12 title elimination game. I know it's early to start talking championship, but if you want to be in Dallas, you had to win this game, and it's the Buffaloes that win by 11. Welcome to Chatterbox Bearcats. My name's Chuck Walter. Co-host on the right side of the screen is my man Houdini, Hudson Klauke. You can find us on YouTube or wherever you stream your audio podcasts. We're free, so you may as well give us the thumbs up and give us the 5-star review. You could do it at the end of the show to make sure that you don't absolutely hate us. You know who I hate right now? I kind of hate him, but I love him at the same time, is one Shedeur Sanders, 25 of 30 in the game, 323 yards, 2 touchdowns. That, to me, is the number one pick in the NFL draft. Star. And then Travis Hunter, 9 catches, 153 yards, 2 touchdowns for the Buffaloes. And to make matters even worse, he plays defense and is essentially Sauce Gardner, college level, where you cannot throw his way. Houdini, what the hell just happened? We ran into a buzzsaw.
We knew it happens every goddamn game, dude. Like first off, at the end of the half, I do not know what is happening, if this is like a mental block from the roster, from the coaching staff. Every half that we have played, let me put my damn TV on mute because I don't want to see Travis Hunter, the greatest goddamn athlete I've ever seen in my life, do a halftime or end of game interview. At the end of the halves that we've played, I think it's like 6 out of the 8 games that we've played have just crumbled, and this was actually somehow the worst of all of them. Like, we gave up a 40-yard touchdown pass with 10 seconds left.
Can we describe the entire scene? Can you paint the picture as
go
a
ahead.
young Picasso? No, you do it right now. As the color analyst, take me to 4th and 1 for the Cincinnati Bearcats. How the last, 45 seconds of the half ended? Paint the picture for the people that didn't get to see.
I'm glad you brought that up because I was sitting at the local pub actually watching this disaster unfold. And I said, you know what, I better make sure to put notes on my phone. And I just said, this is literally the notes I got. It says, Sorsby with one of the most disrespectful reads on a 4th and 1. I think it technically might have been a 4th and 2. And I said, Sorsby shit his pants. They should have given it to Kiner in all caps. Kiner was running through the defense. I truly don't understand. And I love Sorsby. You know that. I'm a Sorsby apologist.
Well,
he had a horrendous read. horrendous read, though, to take the hole that he did. He went right into his own lineman's ass and got stopped. And that obviously changed the entire game. And I thought that might be the tip of the iceberg. They went on to give up a 36-yard touchdown with 10 seconds left. I know Travis Hunter's good. I understand that. To give up, I mean, the safety there, and I don't even know, and I don't even want to necessarily call out. I don't even know who it was. The safety that had one of the worst reads I've ever seen on a clearly there's 10 seconds left. You can't give up the back of the end zone. It's unacceptable. You cannot let that happen and expect to win games against anybody who's remotely decent. Maybe against Towson, you get away with it. Colorado, get over yourself. What are we doing, dude?
And it was Travis Hunter. It's not like it was some random dude that came off the bench. It was literally a wide receiver, cornerback, athlete hybrid that's in Heisman contention. And you let him run free. He was wide open. Like as soon as Mark Jones, who's also the voice of Sacramento Kings, as soon as that ball was let go, you could hear from Mark Jones that he was wide open. He had the bird's eye view, and he's like, he's got a man. And I'm just sitting there like, dude, there's 4 seconds left in the half. They're 40 yards away from scoring. What the hell are we doing here? But the fourth down there.
I mean,
it was 4th and 1, man. Did you agree with that decision to go for it? It was 17-14. Here's the deal. Nathan Hawks has not been making kicks at the end of the half. There's 40 seconds to go. What are you doing going for it there? Pen him back. You got the best punter in college football. Pen him back inside the 10. Go into the locker room down 3. Because that clearly could happen. At that point in the game, we had understood that our defense sucks. What we saw against Houston, it was a fugazi. What we saw against UCF is just trash. Arizona State, they were missing their quarterback last weekend. In fact, back-to-back teams were missing their quarterbacks. Colorado is dynamic. They're electric. They are elite offensively, and we let them off the hook. What are we doing? What are we
Wouldn't
doing?
you say, Chuck? Did you just put some bird sound effects in there? Is that what I just heard?
Crickets, yeah.
Crickets. Okay, crickets. Okay, fair enough. But if you're going to say that our defense is an atrocity, wouldn't that then incline you to go for it, considering Colorado's getting the ball at half? I always err on the side of be aggressive. And I hate jumping on a coach for being aggressive. I just thought the play call to when you have Corey Kiner, who it is very difficult to stop that man from getting 2 yards. I mean, and we can get into it in the fourth quarter. We decided to really get our running attack going while we're down 3 possessions, which, fantastic. But, hey, the clock runs, guys. So to not give it to Corey Kiner there, I think is insanity. I really do. And, again, Sorsby had a bad read. But I think that Satterfield sat there and goes, hey, are we going to stop Shedeur Sanders? And if any Colorado guys, I'm sorry I called him Shedeur. That's how it's spelled. I'm sorry, Shedeur Sanders. He was saying, are we going to stop this guy and they get the ball at half? So, hey, we're going to go for it. And I don't penalize anybody. But to give up a touchdown after that, that's where I'm like, this is insanity. Like, what are we doing here?
Colorado. Slug says the better team won. I find it hard to believe that there's a better team in the Big 12 than them. And we'll see with BYU, we'll see with Iowa State, but as of right now, Texas Tech, no, they're not better than Colorado. It felt like UC would have had to have played a perfect game offensively to win this one against Colorado because they were doing whatever they wanted. I mean, they had a touchdown called back for Horn throwing up the deuce sign. One of the dumbest things you'll ever see. The fact that that's a penalty, I get it. It's a rule.
He should have been thrown out of the game.
I agree. It's a disgrace.
In my opinion, I was disgusted. I was with there was children watching the game. I was like, I was covering their eyes. I go, this is sick. No, I was actually I had bounced around a little bit. I had bounced around. I was at a family party initially, and then I started, cursing the TV. So I said I better head to the pub. But there was children, and they saw the do sign, and that can't happen. You know that, Chuck.
Is that the best team in the Big 12, man? Based off what you've seen, they're hitting stride right now. One of their losses to Kansas State in a toss-up. The other one to Nebraska, who, based on the way they played Ohio State today, Nebraska is not a bad team whatsoever. Is this the team to beat right now? The Buffaloes stampeding their way, and it makes me just it's a fascinating story. I remember Pat McAfee on game day, probably before their third or fourth game, like right after they got their asses handed to them by Nebraska. And he said, this is a make or break moment. If they lose this game today, I think it was against Central Florida. And he said, if they lose this game today, I think it's done. The cards are coming tipping down. The Deion Sanders experiment did not work. Since then, they've been winning, man. They look good. Sanders is a star. They got another Sanders on defense. I'm like, how many sons does Dion have on this team? Good God.
Shiloh.
Yeah. Travis Hunter, 9 catches for 153 and just bottling up Royer and Xavier Henderson. I mean, Xavier Henderson in the game had 1 catch for 11 yards. And Xavier Henderson respected the hell out of Travis Hunter. There was a play there at the end where they were blocking each other, and then at the end he dapped him up.
I mean,
he wanted to tell his kids one day that he dapped up a superstar. I mean, dude, they got a couple of superstars on their team. I think their defense has too many holes in it although they do have good pressure for sure. Too many holes in it to be a serious contender this season. But I think they're a contender in the Big 12, man. I think they could get to the playoff. I don't see why not. This conference is wide open. And unfortunately, barring kind of a miracle, since he's probably out of it, I mean, I don't expect this team, based off what we saw today, to win out.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is I don't think that Colorado is the best team in the Big 12, but they are going to have a very good chance of winning this conference, really just based on their schedule, right? Like they got they got Texas Tech. I like them in that matchup. Utah, Kansas, Oklahoma State. On the other hand, UC has a gauntlet. I mean, we got Iowa State and Kansas State, and West Virginia is no slouch either. We could easily lose that game. So this season could really flip on its head pretty damn quickly. And that's why this game was so massive. And I know you're saying the better team won, and obviously they did. I mean, they controlled the game, no question about it. There are certain points in this game that if UC played it differently, I think it would have really came down to last possession. And we didn't do that. I mean, we had a couple. I mean, Sorsby missed a couple guys. Sorsby was not electric today. He had a couple misses that ruined us. We're not that far off, but we're going into a gauntlet. Like we could potentially lose, 3 straight. And when we do that, Chuck, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do with myself. We, like you said, UC just lost a secret scrimmage to Pittsburgh. Oh my God.
Final Four's off.
But hey, Chuck, I'll say this.
How's
Travis
Day-Day
Hunter.
Thomas's metatarsal? What?
Yeah. No, I'll say this. Travis Hunter, freak of nature. We saw it. I think he's going to be the #1 pick in the draft. I'm actually very interested to see if they would actually play a guy on both sides of the ball in the NFL. I don't think we've seen that since, did Chris Gamble? I don't even know. Who knows? Who cares? But Joe Royer stiff-armed the living shit out of him on a 3rd and 9, and that fired me up. Sick. He literally alphaed the hell out of him. That guy's playing on Sundays. I hope we get him back next year. That was like the silver lining. I'm like, at least he alphaed the shit on the best player in college football, man. And he went to Elder.
Since he ran well, 171 yards rushing in the game, Kiner 17 carries, 94 yards along at 23. On the other side, we thought that Colorado was going to have no rushing attack. Here was the stat entering the game that really caught my mind. Corey Kiner came in with 598 rushing yards. Colorado's entire team combined had 522. Colorado doesn't even try to get their run established. Maybe they try, but they don't do it. They carried it 40 times today for 123 yards and a couple of touchdowns on the ground. Proof that this 3-3-5 defense that we can never really gauge. Like, are they decent? Are they good? Are they dog shit? Today was the latter, man. It did not look good. It was like you brought up a Happy Gilmore reference in the pre-show. It was like the poop bag on fire in Billy Madison, and some of the young kids out there may not remember that one.
Hey, if you're a young kid, get into the Rolodex of Adam Sandler. He's got some really good classics. But I'll say this. Listen.
Chewy Halloween? Oh my God. It's tis the season, baby.
It's an absolute classic. I'm going to fire it up. I mean, at this point, I might as well stay up on the entire night until the Bengals game. But listen, the defense is not fantastic. We're well aware of that. I honestly think at the end of the day, 34 points to Colorado. I know that they maybe ran the ball a little bit more than they would have because they had the lead. But I think this offense has to produce more. And in those 3rd and shorts, it seems to be a kryptonite of this offense, man, because they can't. Every time it seems like they don't know what the hell they're doing. Like that, it seems like they're panicking every time. Like they're in the huddle, like what the hell do we do to get 2 yards? And they lose their minds. And Sorsby wasn't great today, but he didn't do anything. Like he didn't make any mistakes like he usually or never does.
There's a
and
lot of
we
pressure
still
in
couldn't
his
get the
face,
job
man.
done.
There was a lot of
No, he
pressure
did.
in his face.
I'm never going to, like I said, I'm a Sorsby apologist. I love Sorsby. I love his presence. I think that I'm confident anytime he has the ball. And some of those where he was hiking the ball and literally there's a guy in the backfield within 3 seconds. So, I mean, I don't know what you can really expect. And our offensive line should be one of our strengths. And
It is.
they
Colorado's
did well.
defensive line's just better, man. I mean, they sacked
Yeah,
Arizona
you're
7
right.
times.
You're right. Their defensive line is incredible. And if I didn't know that, I certainly know it now because, I mean, I think we had like 70 comments on the midweek show, and 55 of them were like, "You have no idea how good our D-line is, dude. You have no idea." I'm like, all right, relax. Go to Red Rocks. Get a cocktail, okay? Do a CBD gummy, okay? Go bass fishing. Do what you guys do, okay? Can you leave me alone? I'm sorry. I want my team to win, and we just got our ass kicked.
A CBD gummy, since that's the state motto of Colorado. CBD. Get out of here with that.
They love it.
They do. Only 1 sack for Colorado in the game. They did have 4 tackles for a loss, though. For Cincy, it was Tony Johnson had 4 catches for 54 yards and a touchdown. Royer had a touchdown late. 17 carries for 94 for Kiner, as we mentioned. Then Sorsby, 16 of 30, 2 touchdowns in the game, no interceptions. Some things that I wanted to bring up. Evan Prater. I hadn't seen him at all this season at the wide receiver position on special teams day. He cracked someone, made me think that he could be a safety, but I think he's out of eligibility. So that's tough, but he had a big hit, and he was fired up, man. 0 turnovers for the Bearcats. They forced 0, and when you force 0 turnovers, you have 0 chance against Colorado when you're Cincinnati's defense. Like, that was the formula to today's game. Force Colorado into 1 mistake, and it was Cincinnati that had the mistake, on 4th down, not picking that up. That was, that's one of your
missed
differences in
tackles,
the game,
dude.
man. Missed tackles and not forcing
missed
the turnovers.
tackles. I mean, when you get, it's not rocket science. You get 2 arms wrapped around a guy and you can't bring him down. That's a problem. There was too many possessions where 3rd and 6, 3rd and 5, whatever, and they're wrapping him up. 4 yards short, and he busts another 12. Like, you got to make the tackles, man, especially when you're playing such an explosive offense. And they got weapons, and I understand that. They got weapons everywhere. I mean, studs all over the place on the offensive side of the ball, and we just flat out didn't get the job done. And, I mean, Colorado's a good team, man. I mean, they really are. It would have been a lot better if we didn't shit the bed against, Pittsburgh and Texas Tech, and we're like, oh, we're 7-1. But we, like you said, we kind of kissed goodbye any potential of a Big 12. And that would have been a miracle anyway, but it's pretty much dead and gone at this point.
I knew this one was over here's the deal. Every time I watch a game, I want to sit down on my couch. I want to have the popcorn ready, and I want to be watching this thing as it unfolds. I want the pregame sky cam. I want the introduction, and I never get it. I always have to watch 15 minutes of the prior game. We need a pact. We need the entire nation to get on board with this, to sign legal documents to change this. I was watching the end of Florida State, Miami. The cover wasn't even in question. It was 31-6. The spread was 21. So at this point, unless you're a degenerate betting on the live line, or unless you want to see the handshake line at the end, there is no reason for this game to be going on. My mojo was mixed up. By the time they turned on that game, Colorado was driving for their first score 4 minutes into the game. And it was like, what the hell are you doing, Florida State? They're throwing the ball. They're going 90 yards down the field. They're calling, holding penalties. It was just, that's something that needs to change. I remember back in the day when UC was playing a basketball game against Calipari and Derrick Rose, and we had, Connor Barwin. We were down like 38 points, and it was so bad that with like 9 minutes left in the second half, they just flipped it. They said, sorry, Memphis fans, you're going to have to watch this. We don't even have streaming yet. It's 2008. So I'm sorry, Memphis fans. You're just going to have to accept that you're going to win by 40. This Cincinnati team sucks. And That's what I felt tonight watching this game tick. There were like 9 people in the group. Like, what the hell's going on? Just flip it to the Cincinnati game. This is over. Rant over. But that's something that I think we should, as a country, figure out. Whoever's putting that on their ticket, that's who's getting my vote in the presidential primaries.
Listen, that's what I was going to say. If they come out with we love the political ads. Somebody needs to drop one of those. Like, we will actually play the games that you want to see. I'm not even getting into Florida State. Florida State's one of the biggest dumpster fires that I have ever witnessed as a human being. It turned into, at one point, we're in the middle of a game, though, Chuck, during this broadcast. And listen, I love Warren Sapp. He's a Hall of Famer. They just did like a montage highlight reel of Warren Sapp coaching at Colorado in the middle of the game. I'm like, what? He's got the mohawk.
We missed the play. We missed the Royer first down.
We just missed it. I was like, dude,
this is not a Colorado
Warren Sapp.
feature.
I'm like,
this is a game.
Great. He's got a mohawk. I mean, save it for the kids under 14 and carnival workers. I don't need to see Warren Sapp at 50 with a mohawk while I'm trying to watch the damn game. Okay? Like, that's another thing. Like, what are we doing? Like, the purpose of airing the game is to watch the actual game. Again, big Warren Sapp guy. He did a hell of a job, clearly, because that defensive line was on fire. But, come on, give me the goddamn game, dude.
Coach Prime's cooking, man. And this was, to those of you that are Colorado fans that have now subscribed to the channel and are fans of Chatterbox Bearcats, we appreciate you, man. Tell some of the Bearcats fans to hop on board. But with that being said, man, Prime's got it figured out. He's got a fun team. He's got a fun staff. The atmosphere is electric. This is a program that won a game before he got there. One single game. They were cooked. Colorado was cooked. And Prime's got him back. I think a lot of Cincinnati fans at the time thought that UC may extend an offer and see where it goes. He has ties to the city, obviously, having played for the Cincinnati Reds, and they didn't give him an offer based on what we heard. He goes to Colorado. It was polarizing hire, man. It was like, this is either going to fail miserably or it's going to work out. And there's a lot of time to go. There's a lot to be said, but they're bowl eligible. That 99-year-old Colorado super fan is going to be sleeping easy tonight. So, I mean, good for him, man. He's got things going.
It just made sense for Colorado to make that move. I don't think it made sense for UC. Like UC, Colorado was a shitstorm. I mean, like, they were like the worst team in the then Power 5. And what better to do than make a splash, get Deion Sanders, right? You're guaranteeing you get his son, who lived up to the hype and more. For UC, I mean, it's an established program. Like, it's not like we were, scraping the bottom of the barrel. Not that Scott Satterfield was the most primetime candidate of all time, but the class of coaches that were
get him out of town.
Yeah, they wanted him out. Listen, I get it, and I'd be the first guy if Deion Sanders was coming to town. It was kind of like when Nick Van Exel was getting brought up for UC basketball. You just, right when you hear it, you go, yes. Like, give me an ex-athlete that's cool. Deion Sanders is somehow still like one of the coolest human beings. It's probably him and Matthew McConaughey is like the two coolest people on planet Earth right now. And it's insane. Like, they're old and they're still cool. So maybe, Chuck, in 20 years, me and you somehow we can, because we're cool now. We know this. But Deion Sanders, and have you seen his put the hat on. Have you seen his offer sheet that he sends in the mail to the kids?
No.
That he's offering? The Louis Vuitton, same thing, gold and black. You open it up, it's got all this different, like, glitter, and it looks like grills. It looks like Paul Wall, like, sneezed on it. And it says, like, you have been chosen to be a Colorado Buffalo. And I know these kids are eating it up, because I would have. I'd have been like, dude, Deion Sanders asked me for a damn scholarship. I'm in. So he's on the right trajectory. He knows what the kids like. He's fun. People enjoy him. And again, he's just cool as hell.
I found it interesting that Prime and Satterfield, they have nothing in common, right? Lily called him the math teacher, called Satterfield the math teacher. I've said, hey, get one of those Boy Scouts uniforms, Cub Scouts uniforms, tuck into some cargo shorts, and he looks like he could head down to the lake with some oars. It's like, all right, boys, we're going snake hunting.
He's like the kid from Up. He's like the Boy Scout from Up. Great Pixar film. He's almost dead on.
Anyways, the one thing that they have in common is they both kind of ran out the old culture, right? Dion, like right away, was like, if you're not a Buffalo, you're not a Buffalo, and we're going to know it right away, and told guys to get the hell out. Satterfield kind of did the same thing. Maybe not as publicly and maybe not with as much scrutiny because he's Scott Satterfield and not Deion Sanders. A little bit of a difference there. But they both kind of did their own thing, establishing their culture in the offseason. And, hey, they're both looking decent. Colorado right now is just looking a little better. But I do have something to say to you all. I imagine all the Buffalo fans watching this show, you somewhat like basketball, right? Your team's going to suck. Our team's going to be just fine. So we'll see you at, is it Fifth Third, or will we play them in Boulder? I don't know, but we'll see you this year in basketball, and you'll see what the Bearcats are made of.
Yeah, and you're right. I think both of these teams both the programs are heading in the right direction. Like I said, Colorado, I mean, shit, dude, they got a cakewalk moving forward. I mean, obviously Texas Tech's a good team, but we just saw Utah lost to Houston. Utah sucks.
Can I tell
Utah
you something?
literally
Real quick,
yeah.
for the people out there that are interested, because I know everyone loves hearing about another man's parlay. 7-gamer today. It had Miami, Ohio money line at like minus 1,100 in this parlay. Hit the first 6 legs. All that was left was Utah. It was 10-10 at this point. And I actually cashed out. 4-1. I got paid out. And then later on, I checked the score and saw that they lost. I'm like, thank God. So the cash out button, folks, remember, when it's there, use it. Use it. It's a godsend. I promise you. It'll change your life.
Yeah, and, Tony the pod boss is like he's salty talking about basketball. Tony the pod boss, that's all we have, okay? We got basketball, okay? So we're gonna hang on to that because our team is supposed to be good, and we don't want to talk about the secret scrimmage against Pittsburgh where we lost apparently by 10. That is completely erroneous and not relevant, okay? But this is what I'll say, Chuck. I got a text from my cousin that literally said, fire Satterfield during this game. He said, fire him. He said he's got to be gone now. I refuse to get the pitchforks out. He is moving this program. If Sorsby transfers, I know that was actually on our own network with Chatterbox. They were talking about that. If Sorsby were to transfer, I don't think it's a realistic even thought. If that were to happen, then I would start getting nervous and be like, I mean, what the hell are we doing? But Satterfield has moved this program in the right direction for sure. I mean, we saw a dumpster fire last year. We got a franchise. I mean, I guess you can call it a franchise now the way NIL works. We got a franchise quarterback, and he's a sophomore. So I still like what Satterfield has done as far as his play calling. A little bit to be desired, to say the goddamn least. Again, let's get the running game going down 17. You know how the clock works, Coach? The clock keeps running. I know you got 6 yards.
At this point, you're at the pub. Paint a picture of what's going on in the fourth quarter. Is the Bearcats literally went on a drive and had 9 rushes and 1 pass, down 17 points with 7 or 8 minutes to go.
Chuck, I'll say this, though. It almost worked out. Like, they had an opportunity to stop them. There was $1.50 left? So
there was 3 minutes left, and Colorado just picked up 4 or 5 first downs with ease, and they weren't even running it. That's the thing. That's how confident they were that they could just make our secondary look like Swiss cheese. They said, do you know how teams usually run it? And at this point, they're like, hey, Shedeur is he's like 23 of 26. So let's go ahead and just fling it through the air, get into field goal range, kick a field goal, and break Houdini's heart as he doesn't cover.
Well, and it's like, when your dad coaches you, and I don't care what level it is, they're like, I want my son to get them stats up. Like that's what you want. Like my dad in grade school basketball was like, son, you got to shoot more. I'm like, dude, I'm already putting up 20 shots a game. I'm like, this is 5-6 combo basketball, and he's like, you got to fire more shots. And he's sitting there going, do I want to give the running back the ball? No. He's like, my son is going to sling this damn thing, and it worked out for them because I was shocked when it was a typical cliche, hand the ball off, run the clock down. They were throwing it into the end zone multiple times, and it worked out. But the defense had an opportunity, dude. The defense had an opportunity to rely on our defense is insane against this offense. But we had an opportunity, 3 timeouts left, to actually win the game, or at least tie it, and did not happen.
I want to know from the Colorado fans in the chat, like, what was Boulder football? What was Boulder like for football Saturdays the year you won one game? Like, this thing has just changed tremendously in such a short amount of time. Like, Colorado football is, we said this on a Chatter podcast last year. I kind of forgot. Remember, we told our entire audience that Colorado's America's team before they were even in the Big 12. We're like, Colorado, America's team. We love Dion. And now it's like, I hate Colorado. The team is fun. They're exciting. I think they're the best team in the Big 12. The fan base, the respectful ones that said we enjoyed the show, we appreciate those. But for those of you that said Cincinnati's a joke, go back to your farms. Hateful stuff. I don't live by a farm. I never lived by a farm. There's not that many farms in Cincinnati. Maybe in the greater Cincinnati area up by Batavia and Amelia. We don't have any farms by us, A. And B, we were in the playoffs 2 years ago. Give us a break. We're just dealing with a coaching transition.
Well, first off, the farm thing, I'm getting a little sick of it too. Because I got family in Chicago and like dead serious, like they were dead serious when I was younger. They were like, how close are you to like a potato? Like, can you like just go outside and just pick one off the fence? I'm like, what do you think this is? Like, you think I live in, Idaho? Like it's an urban metropolitan area, guys. Okay. Cincinnati in the Colorado fans have been great in the chat and in the show, whatever. Some of them, though, are acting like they are legitimately the Crimson. They have 7 national titles in the last 15 years or something. I'm like, dude, you guys won what? You were the worst team in college football 2 years ago. We went to the college football playoff, had 11 guys drafted in the NFL. Like, they were like, you don't understand what it's like to play at Colorado. There's no way you guys could compete. Like, what do you – I hate to reuse the terminology people forget, but I guess people do forget that UC – the football program is not a slouch by any means. They've been good historically and continue to be good. We had obviously a little hiccup with last year and Emory Jones, but I mean, can we get any respect?
This game
That's all I'm asking, dude.
This game felt a lot like the College Game Day game at the Bounce House when it was big time prime. It was late night. It was late as hell. Last game of the evening, and UC came out and held their own for a little. I think Ritter was a sophomore, and then just got smacked at the Bounce House. And it was like a year before Cincy was back. The next year, Sauce Gardner had that pick. UC, I think, made it to the Peach Bowl that year. Then the year after that, obviously, you make the college football playoffs. That's kind of like what this game felt like. Like, Cincy's on the rise, but they're just not there yet. But there was a drive where Sorsby had a great run, found Joe Royer. Then Evan Pryor took off for like 40 yards. Then Tony Johnson scored a touchdown. I'm thinking to myself, every single one of those players Scott Satterfield found in the portal last year. Found them all. That's proof that Satterfield's good in the portal. In today's day and age, that's everything in building a program. So to your cousin that said Satterfield needs to go, tell him/her to shut the hell up. Satterfield, even though, like 4 weeks ago, I was one of the barbarians going to the gate with the pitchfork saying, get his ass out of here. Leave him in Oxford if he can't win. But, hey, man, we're a fickle fan base. Not a Luke Fickle fan base, but we're fickle from time to time. You know? We've been hurt over the years.
Wisconsin lose?
Man, I think so. It was tight.
They lost, yeah. No, they lost.
Are you
Fickle
sure?
Sucks. No, not at all, but I'm pretty sure.
28-13. They got handled.
I knew it. Yeah, they destroyed. What an idiot. Grow up.
Should have stayed, man. Should have stayed. Butch Jones, meanwhile, kicking himself that he left all those years ago. He's like, damn it. But yeah, Satterfield looks good in the portal. Team's getting better. The better team won tonight.
You got to close games, Chuck.
Yeah, we thought Cincy was going to win 6-7 games at most. Their over-unders 5.5. Everything that we thought they could do this year is still in front of us and more. I mean, you could still technically go 9-3, win out, or you could lose out, or go into that TCU game hoping that you're bowl eligible. But first things first, the Bearcats go up against West Virginia. That is after a bye, so the Bearcats off next week, and then the second weekend of November, it'll be the Cats and the Mountaineers from Nippert. Hopefully it's a late-night game. Two of our co-hosts, actually, Eric Lilly, Mr. Bearcat Bunch, and Nick Niehaus were actually in Colorado. Lily's there for his bachelor party. He thought he was going to get legendary roadkill. Instead, he's guzzling down coffee, falling asleep on the bus on the way back to his Airbnb. That's tough for all the fans that traveled. I've done it many times. I went to a Butler game one time and UC got smoked. I went to Ohio State for John Brannon's first game. They lost. I went to the Sugar Bowl. That game was over with Tim Tebow and Urban Meyer. That game was over before I got my popcorn. I sat down. It was like 21-0. I'm like, Dad, you want to hit up Bourbon Street? He's like, you're 15. You can't see. Anyways, that's kind of where I stand in terms of the road trips for UC. We never win them. So that's why Notre Dame was so magical. Everyone will talk about that Notre Dame win forever because, like, we don't win those games. To the Colorado fans watching, like, Cincinnati doesn't win those games, and we won that game. Tonight, it felt fishy. The line moved from like 3.5 to 6.5, and UC doesn't win. UC doesn't cover. That's that, man. That's that. The better team won. That's all I got to say.
Yeah, I still think Satterfield needs to figure out a way to, and again, I don't want to beat a dead horse, but I'm going to beat the hell out of a dead horse. You got to close the half. And I don't know what is happening on that sideline, but it is a panic through and through. I've never seen a team, like, if we actually took the last 5 minutes of every half, I think we might, as far as a scoring differential, we're down like 87 points, and we're 5-3. The last 3 minutes of a half, we crumble. In the momentum changes, everything changes. Just a disaster, and you're right, the better team did win. There's no question. But my God, as a fan, do you say, if we just did a couple different damn plays differently, we're right in this damn game. I mean, we were in the game till the end, and granted, if UC would have pulled it off, it would have been like how we feel every game. Like, if UC came out and won this game somehow, it would have felt like us losing to Pittsburgh. Like, it would have been like they had no business. How the hell did this happen?
Well,
but
we would have had to go for
Satterfield
two there at the end. So, and you know how
I
that
know
would
this
have
bull.
ended.
Let me tell you this. I didn't even want to get on this, Chuck. I'm pissed off you even brought it up. The going for two down 14, I know the metrics. The analytics say go for it. I fucking hate it. I hate it. I didn't feel confident at all. The second they were going for two, I hate it. I know it didn't come down to that, but I like the idea of saying, hey, we're just down 7. I think mentally you feel better as a player, and I know it doesn't really matter what the fans think.
Sorsby had a
but
50% completion rating, and you're throwing in that situation.
He wasn't, yeah,
so,
exactly.
So why?
And he was throwing to Travis Hunter.
The metrics would say, give it to Nathan Hawks.
Did you not see this? Like, was he not throwing the ball towards Travis Hunter's guy way too much? I'm like, if we need a completion, dude, get the ball the hell away from a generational talent. I want him nowhere near a football. Okay? I want Travis Hunter nowhere near a football in any circumstance. And we were like trying to throw it to his guy consistently, which I thought was insane. But yeah, comes down to it. We came up short, but I like the trajectory of the team right now. And Sorsby came up against a tough defensive line, and I think that hurt. But it is what it is, man. We got to move on. Mountaineers
coming to town, drinking some beers. BYU 37, UCF 24. BYU's 8-0, number 11 in the country. The chat's saying BYU stinks. They keep winning, so we'll see about that. They're 5-0, the Big 12. UCF, the Gus Bus, Malzahn, he may be on his way out as they drop to 1-4 in the Big 12. Kansas State, Kansas was the game of the night. Kansas State, a late field goal. They hold on 29-27 to improve to 7-1, 4-1 in the Big 12. Baylor takes down Oklahoma State in a game of irrelevant programs right now, or at least irrelevant teams, not programs. 38-28 for two teams that at best will make the Frontier Bowl, the Pop-Tart Bowl, the Cheez-It Bowl.
The Frontier Bowl, Jesus Christ. Nobody's getting to that game. If they're taking Frontier flights, nobody's even going to make it, so it doesn't matter.
Better pay extra for your suitcase, man. It better fit. That reminds me, I was going to my bachelor party years back, and there was an Italian guy in front of me, and he was trying to shove his suitcase in that little like box that says it's the right size. And they're like, nope, it's like an inch too. He's like, come on. He's like, you serious? Like, eye test. Like, this is a carry-on. Like, it doesn't fit in the case. he was pissed. He's like, come on.
They get
Mamma
so
mia.
mad. They get so mad. Like, it's almost like you're about to be arrested and like taken, like extradited to another country if that little thing doesn't fit in when you're checking into your flight. They're like, I'm like, I swear to God, it fits, man. Just give me a minute. And they're like, it doesn't fit, brother. Put your arms behind your back. I'm like, come on, guys. We're all in this together.
TCU
I
35,
digress.
Texas Tech 34. TCU improves to 5-3. Texas Tech drops to 5-3. West Virginia trounces Arizona. The Wildcats have been disappointing. 31-26 in favor of West Virginia, who improves to 4-4. And then Utah, man. One of the favorites in this league is now garbage. They lost to Houston. Houston, a team that I thought had many problems and wouldn't win a Big 12 game this season, has won 2 of them in front of about 75,000 fans. I actually want the official number because I saw a post that was like, oh, Big 12 football, we should be scared. It was the final number in attendance. Give me an over-under. 28,251. That is tough at TDECU Stadium for that ESPN Plus Titanic struggle. And then the final game in the conference, the Cincinnati Bearcats fall to the Colorado Buffaloes 34-23. All right, that does it for Chatterbox Bearcats, everyone. The good news is we have basketball shows coming up here soon. As soon as November starts, so does Wes Miller and the number 20 Cincinnati Bearcats. And if you are not fired up for the season, this video will get you fired up. You're going to have to change your shorts before you go to sleep. Everyone have a great night. Houdini, thank you for staying up until 2:30 in the morning for a postgame show. You tired?
Yeah, I'm beat to hell, brother. I feel like I just went to war. I got to get some sleep, but appreciate you guys coming in. Chase Wellman, Wyatt Rabbit, the guys in the chat, man, you guys were electric. Appreciate you joining the show, and yeah, we'll do this all again.
Yo, there's something beautiful about Bearcats basketball. High flying.
Kenyon with a jam.
Shot denying.
Miles rejected.
There's just an energy that comes with the Cats. A rich history built on toughness.
And Mick Cronin looks like he wants a technical.
A bring-your-own-lunch pail mentality. For a long time, UC was the hunted.
And I felt that we couldn't lose.
I think it's time the Bearcats do a little hunting of their own.
Once y'all done with them, send them to me, man. You know what I mean? We can put them on the court. Keep that Bearcat thing going.
I am fired up.
Takes it all the way. Oh! It's going to be Little.
I wonder how Steve Logan would be over in Afghanistan or somewhere. I bet he'd be pretty poised. He just does not get rattled.
Van Exel, he'll cut it loose. Watch out. Stevenson cuts it about. Oh! Kilpatrick outruns everybody. Johnson, the exclamation point.
We've been dealt the king of heartbreak over and over again.
Rozier, Smith, and
everything they worked for was undone on one play.
But I see the light. The Cats are back.
Lukosius, open three, got it! Oh, baby!
Welcome to the only live Bearcats postgame show on YouTube. This is Chatterbox Bearcats.
Good night, everyone.